Morning, lovely viewer. Well, here we are at Kordes Roses HQ. I've travelled all the way from the UK for this visit, and what you saw at the start of that video, I was looking at the flags. You saw the flags that were blowing, and now sadly I've established that the audio was destroyed. You see those flags on the left, the wind blowing those flags, it destroyed the audio in the opening couple of minutes. So what you're hearing here is a voiceover, which is something that I don't like to do, but I've just in this opening couple of minutes I've been forced to do it. But this is the headquarters of Kordes Roses in Germany, and if you go there, this is what you're met with. Now, what I'm pointing out here is my car, because I've just travelled prior to this. I've just travelled from Tantel Roses for that video, the headquarters there, and in the short journey between Tantel and Kordes, my car, it developed a rattle, a worrying rattle, because I say worrying, I knew I had to drive home. But what you see here, this is Rose Florentina. This is a climbing rose. It's a rose I'd nearly purchased on several occasions, a lovely red. There's no fragrance to this rose, but I know it's a rose. The flowers, they do last a very long time indeed. A lovely flower. And I do hear people say that it lasts a long time. Yeah, this is basically the gardens. It's similar to a running track, maybe 200 or 300 metres circular. And I knew this prior to setting off. I saw the pictures on the internet. It's not as elaborate as David Austin headquarters or Peter Bill's headquarters. But I think the German rose breeders, they don't invest as much money or time in their garden headquarters as their English counterparts. I think the German rose breeders, perhaps they focus more of their energy on the actual roses. I don't know. But I knew the gardens looked similar to this. There's many young roses in this rose garden, but there's some fantastic roses as well, and some very healthy roses. Now, the rain in Germany, and in fact all across Europe, it's been a very cold summer so far. The temperature's very low and wet. It's led to a lot of black spot, and that Florentina, certainly there was black spot on this Florentina. But you'll also, despite those conditions, you'll also see some very healthy roses that obviously Kordes are renowned for, but there was some black spot on this Florentina rose. But I wanted to, considering I had travelled, I've done a video on the David Austin headquarters, I've done a video on Peter Bill's. In my own way, on my own tiny channel, I wanted to highlight some of the German rose breeders as well. So this is why I travelled to Tantel and why I travelled to Kordes. Now in this video, I'm going to buy my favourite rose. That's a lovely delphinium there, Piccolo. I'm going to walk around, and between Tantel and Kordes, I'm going to buy my favourite rose on the day, and you'll see me do that at the end of the video. And also my cute rose garden and her dog, I'll buy a rose for her as well. But this rose here it's a red rose called Milano, very, very healthy. There was no black spot on this rose as well either. And you have to remember, only the previous day there was a lot of heavy rain, and you'll see some of these roses took a bit of a hit, the weather that we've had, but some of them seem to have lasted pretty well despite the weather. But this is a Floribunda Milano. I think Kordes say it's suitable for mass planting. Now, what I'm saying here is I'm trying to get over the back, but because of the rose beds, it's a little bit difficult for me to get over there. So I don't actually make it over the back there. But here's the end of this clip. Right, this here, annoyingly, there's no sign for it, but I think, and I'm pretty sure that this is Rose Laguna. It's a rose that I have. And look at this. It's probably just past its best by date. But I really do think that this is Rose Laguna. That's a fantastic rose, and this is obviously a mature one. Rose Laguna, that's got to be sort of 15 feet tall up there, and it's a heavy flower. And this rose, again, there's no name to it, but I'm pretty sure that this is Rose Amadeus. I'm pretty sure it is. With the rain that we had last night, there's not a blemish. There's not a blemish on it. The rain that we had yesterday. Now again, there is some black spot here on Rose Amadeus. Now I have noticed black spot on my Amadeus this year, but I put that down to the fact that Porcelain musk is right next to it. But a fantastic rose, non-fragrant. But that is Rose Amadeus. And this here is Rose Laguna. It's the rose that meets you on the way in. I should have picked that out. There's an expression, you can't see the wood for the trees, and it is the same as the rose that you've just seen there. But that is another Laguna, a very sort of prolific flower, and mine is flowering particularly well this year. I think it's going to flower for me most of the summer. Now this rose here is a gorgeous yellow. I know that most of these roses will have different names for them, and I don't know what they are, but this rose here is called Lemona. It is a very pale sort of yellow, but it's the colour. It's the colour of it. It's almost like a green. A very good effect. Very good colour, I think. Lemona. It is a yellow, but you can see it's budding well. It's flowering well. Lemona, very nice. Ah, this rose here, I'm pretty sure I know what this is. This here is, the English name is Delightful Parfumer. And Peter from Eastcroft, he'll be happy because his were much better condition than this, I have to say. These are babies, and this is a very fragrant rose. Very fragrant indeed, but these, I can only assume these have been recently planted. In fact, we're going to come around here very quickly. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Yeah, Frau Caroline is the German name, and there it is here. But I'm going to have to get a smell of this. Yeah, it's a fragrant rose. Mine is doing particularly well this year. It's budding well. I'm literally just waiting for it to. I'm just waiting for it to open. But you can see here that one looks like it wasn't too successful. Susceptible to the rain, I think. But it's ongoing, isn't it, with these roses? That there can only be one rose. It can only be Pompanella. Oh, we've got black spot here, you know. We've got black spot. Yeah, this is Rose Pompanella. Look at this beautiful, beautiful rose. I got mine from what's her name? Summer Moon, is it? I saw it on her channel. That's where mine come from, and mine is doing particularly well this year. A lovely rose, and it's a rose that likes to flower. Pompanella, grown as a standard, and that seems to be doing well. It's a mature one. Let's come back here. It's a mature one as well, but that does look to be doing well. This here, I'm pretty sure, is Rose Jasmina. And there it is there. That's grown to good effect. It's a rose that it does like to flower. I think it gave me 2 flushes the last 2 years. Only 2 flushes, but it's one of these roses, when it flushes, very, very good effect. This will probably flower again. Well, as a mature one, I don't know, but it will certainly flower again, at least once. Rose Jasmina. This is a rose here that caught my eye. I had to come over. Leas it's called. It's a very much purple rose. There is fragrance to it. It's a nice fragrance. With the rain that we've had yesterday, I'm getting a medium strength from it, so it could be, ordinarily it's got a strong fragrance, but it is early in the morning. Leas, that's a lovely rose. There's a bed of them just here. This rose here, I know exactly what this rose is. It's First Crush, Constance Mosart. This is a rose that I have got. Its flowers, they can be unruly, undisciplined, or they can be picture perfect. It's a strange one. It really is a strange one. It's they say it's a very fragrant rose. It occasionally is very fragrant. Often I get a light fragrance from it, First Crush. But its flowers, they can be a little ruffled. Lovely rose though. And this one here is lovely and healthy. Mine's certainly very healthy. This one's doing very well. These roses here, I know there's no name here, but this is Summer Romance. I know that for sure. In fact, I'm going to do what Linda done. Linda, I'm going to copy you. I'm going to give you that one while I smell this one. Oh, lovely. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, old girl. Thank you very much. That's great. I do like that. I do like that. Summer Romance. That's got a lovely fragrance. That's the. I've smelt several roses today, and this is probably the finest fragrance that I've had so far whilst I've been here. And remember all that rain that we had yesterday. But these are babies. Mine, the one I've got in the ground, is actually bigger than that. Oh, in fact, there's a name there. Yeah, Rose Graffan Marie Henrietta. It's Summer Romance to everyone else, or Lovely Parfumer. Ah, here we have Dark Desire. You know, it's funny, I've got, yeah, very powerful. I've got many of these roses from the Parfumer collection, and I'm going to tell you how I come about it. And it's all through YouTube. I would see a video from a YouTuber and I would look at the rose and I would think, you know what, I really like that rose. And they might not even be a popular YouTuber. You know, I could go through First Crush. I know the video exactly that I saw when I decided that I wanted to get that rose, and Graffin Diane, you know, Dark Desire. I know the video exactly. I thought I like that. And as time went on, I realised that I had 4 or 5 roses from the same collection. It just happened. It just happened like that. But there's Dark Desire. Madame Anisette. Now, Madame Anisette, this is oh yeah, that is very fragrant. This is a rose. I didn't know anything about it, and this is a great example. In fact, when I was at Eastcroft with Peter, he had a rose there, Glorious Parfumer, and I never ever twigged that it was part of that collection. Believe it or not, I just didn't. But it was my favourite on the day, and I chose my favourite on the day, and it was only when I got home and I realised that it was Madame Anisette, I almost fell over. So I have got this one as well. But sometimes that's happened to me 3 or 4 times. I've gone to look at some roses, intending to choose the best one on the day, which I have done. and I've acquired the rose, and then when I got home, you realise that it's a popular rose, a big hitting rose. You know, I do like to go to the garden centres and choose my favourite rose on the day. Many of the roses that I have in my garden have been recommended by your kind selves. But it's always nice to choose your own, and then it's even sweeter when you find out that it's a very well recognised and awarded rose. That's Westerland. It's been grown as a shrub there. Oh, well, this here, surely that has to be another Laguna. And the pink, I'm trying to see if I can guess what one this pink is. Is it Fairy Tale? Cinderella Fairy Tale, maybe? From the Fairy Tale collection? That is what I'm going to guess. No, it's Sweet Laguna. So I think that is Laguna, and I think that this here is Sweet Laguna. This one's gone slightly over. Now, I did email Kordes and I asked them when was the best time to come to your garden, and they did respond to me, and they said the end of sort of June would be the best time. So that is Sweet Laguna. Now, Sweet Laguna, I know, is meant to be fragrant, but I'm not getting any fragrance at all from Sweet Laguna today. But it's another rose. It flowers very well, and I know that ordinarily it's a fragrant rose. It's more fragrant than Laguna. Laguna has some fragrance. Yeah, it is Laguna. This one. In fact, let's have a smell. I do get fragrance from Laguna, just a light fragrance. But again, not today. That cannot be. It cannot come as a surprise with all the rain that we had yesterday. That has to be Utison. Surely. I could be wrong. Oh, it looks like I am wrong. The flowers, they are too small. They are too small. That is called. In fact, I'll show you. I can't even say it. Palm and Garden, Frankfurt. It's a pink. It's the same sort of colour as Utison. This is a lovely yellow, bit of a showpiece. This one. It's fragrant. It's a fragrant rose, and that one is called Golden Gate. It's a bit of a beast, I have to say, this one. It is a bit of a beast. It's definitely got fragrance to it. Golden Gate. And here's another Laguna. They like Laguna here. Let's see if this one's fragrant. Just a light fragrance from it. But you see, that's a rose that it does like to flower well. This one. You know, let's stand back a little bit here because I want you to appreciate the size of that. You know, that's it's got to be approaching 20 feet. Certainly over 15 feet, I would have thought. And they've actually got this growing in like one of these. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. The name escapes me. But that is a lovely effect. What they've got here is a Aloha Laguna and Golden Gate. That is nice. Aloha has got such a lovely fragrance. Sadly, mine isn't doing well at all, and there is a lot of black spot on Aloha. I think it's an old rose. There's no year giving me that sort of information. And Jasmina that you've already seen. This one looks younger, but that'll grow. I love this fragrance. Now, I know they say it's apple fragrance, and I can see why. Yes, I do get that apple from it, but for my nose, this is a really powerful fragrance that really does radiate a long, long way away. And it's so intense, it comes out almost like a perfume. Jasmina. I mean, look at all this here. You see many of them have gone over, but it was torrential rain yesterday. And it's been, I know for a fact, it's been very wet here. Rose Jasmina, I think in a couple of years, mine's going to look really, really nice on that, along that back fence there, and probably up the shed as well. You know what, there is a problem with black spot. I think this is Aloha again, you know. But this, I've said in the earlier video, if you go to David Austin's anytime in July, you will see the black spot. It's just one of these things that happens when you have so many roses, and particularly if they're older roses, it's gonna spread. You either don't worry about it and just forget about it, or you try and do what I do, which is basically fight it for as long as you can, and then when it happens, it happens. Just don't worry about it. But don't I don't use chemicals on mine, and I'm hoping that Kordes don't do on theirs. You know, this has got to be another Amadeus. There's no sign on it, but yeah, I'm certain this is Rose Amadeus. It is, there we go, there's a sign. Amadeus. And here's a rose. This is a nice rose. It's called Rosanna. It's not a rose that I've heard of, but that is beautiful. If this is fragrant, I'll be very pleased. There is a light fragrance to it. That's a lovely flower. Let me try and get the... You see that white sort of reflective bit there? That kind of makes it beautiful. Beautiful. That's a nice little ting going on there. In fact, there's just one more this side. We might as well do this here. How much of this I'm going to edit out, I don't know. I would love to do these things. That's a lovely rose. There's no name for it though, unfortunately, which is very, very annoying. It might be Peach Melba, I'm not sure. This here is Fraulein Maria. I think this is Raspberry Cupcake, I think. But this one looks like it's been hit with the rain. Yeah, it's got a fragrance to it. But there's a few of them over there as well. But that looks like it's budding well. There's plenty of buds there. You can never see the buds as well as I would like, but that's a rose that's looking very healthy. This one, Conagin Maria. I think this one is Porcelain Parfum. I think. This is a rose that I have. In fact, I've got both of these roses at home. I bought them this year, and I have to say they're not doing very well for me at the moment. A very sort of slow start. They've only just started to grow, but this is part of the Parfuma collection. Porcelain Parfum. A lovely fragrance to it, and it looks very healthy. Porcelain Parfum. I mean, look at that. It's doing well. Right, this here, believe it or not, this is Earth Angel. I'm pretty sure it is. There's the German name, but I'm pretty sure that this is Earth Angel, and this is a rose that I really like, but it's a rose that it just keeps getting washed out for me. And I'm looking at this rose here. If you see this rose in North America, there are parts of North America you will not find a better rose to look at it. Its health and those beautiful flowers. But you can see here, this is pretty much what's happening to me, and it pains me to say that. It really does. I'm going to give mine another at least another couple of years, because at some point this year, some of these buds, the conditions are going to be right, and you're going to see that beauty, and then of course it's all going to make it worthwhile. But I am jealous when I see Earth Angel growing sort of 5 foot tall, 6 foot tall, and packed with these buds, all of which flower. That does make me jealous, I have to say. Here you go, here's Rose Pasmina. And I filmed this because Ray from Ohio, I know he mentions it a lot. The flowers are actually tiny. I'm not sure if this is your one, but it's packed full of tiny buds, but like a miniature sort of flower. But you can see it really is. This is one of those roses, it's got like a gazillion buds. It really has. But the flowers, they're the flowers there. I'm not sure if that's the same one. Let's check out the fragrance. No, I'm not getting fragrance from that today. Pasmina. There we go. This is Peach Melba. And this is a lovely rose. It's fragrant as well. Nice. Nice. I mean, look at that. There's the size of the flowers. Peach Melba. That's definitely got some fragrance to it. This one looks very healthy. It's healthy here today. But that's grown pretty tall. That's a nice one for an arch. Very nice. And we've got another rose there, Cherry Lady. Yeah, I'm pooing myself, I'll be honest, for this drive home. I really am. Now my plan was I was going to stay around here today. Tomorrow morning looks like it's fine. It looks like it's going to be a good morning tomorrow morning. And I was going to possibly do some more filming in the morning when the sun's out. This is Rose Courage. Now, who is it that has this? Is it Bloomberg? Someone has this rose. Rakesh, is that you? That is a gorgeous rose. That really is a gorgeous rose. You saw me just see it there. Oh, I can't reach one. It looks like a hybrid tea, but that's poised. That's poised very well. That stake isn't doing anything. There's nothing supporting that rose. Rose Courage. Look at that. Look at that. And I'm seeing it looks very healthy. Look at the size of that flower. Rose Courage. Someone's got this rose. And I remember looking at it thinking that looks fantastic, and now seeing it in the flesh, that is gorgeous. I mean, look at that one there. Rose Courage. You know, this is the best one I've seen so far. That is gorgeous. It's got to be a hybrid tea. That is a gorgeous flower. Rose Courage. Yeah, I'm putting myself on the way home. I was going to stay here until tomorrow morning to get this more, but now all I'm thinking is just JJ, get home. Just get home. Now I think this is another gorgeous one. This actually looks, I don't want to say it because I've been wrong already. No, it is Bliss Parfuma. This is, I was going to say it. This is Bliss Parfuma. Now mine is doing very well. This is part of the Cinderella collection. And mine is very, very healthy. It was one of the few roses that didn't get black spot last year. It's upright. There's no support on this rose. In fact, I haven't seen any support on any of the roses really, other than the climbers. But there's another one of Bliss Parfuma. Look at that. I'm gonna have to check out the fragrance here. Yeah. How can they say it's light fragrance? For me, I get strong fragrance. You know, we're all different. We all have different brains. It all works differently, I guess. Beautiful, a beautiful scent for my nose. Yeah, I do regret not filming this as a road trip. You know, Donna, she said to me the night before I was due to go, she said, oh, have you done this, have you done that, have you got travel insurance, is your car insurance covered, all these different things break down, and of course I hadn't sorted any of them out. Now I managed to sort out some breakdown insurance, but under the terms of my recovery, you've got to let them know 48 hours in advance. So obviously I dropped them an email straight away, but technically that doesn't come into place until tomorrow. So that could be interesting. But it's just a case of sucking it and seeing. You know, you've got to roll the dice sometimes, and that is what I've done on this trip. That is exactly what I've done. I knew these rose gardens wouldn't be and are not as elaborate as the David Austin rose gardens. I knew that, but I wanted to come here. You know, they say it's National Rose Month. Where does that even come from? I don't know. I've got no idea. I've only heard of it more recently. This National Rose Month. No, it's International Rose Month. I've said before, you know, David Austin, they crack out some great roses. Peter Bills, there's many great English and British rose breeders, but there's many fantastic German rose breeders as well. And as I've said before, I would happily have these roses in my garden, no matter where they're from. So for me, it's International Rose Month, because they come from all over the world, not just one brand or another. Right, the last thing I've got to do is I'm going to get Dilly a rose. I'm going to get Dilly a rose, and I may get myself one as well. I still need to think hard. I've been to Tantel, and I'm going to say, even though Tantel's rose garden was, I think, well, in fact, maybe they're the same size. I think Tantel Rose Garden, you know, that was immaculate. That really was an immaculate collection of roses that they had there in fantastic condition. I've got to get the name of this rose. I think here at Kordes they've tried to out of Rosenheim. It's a lovely red. Let's see if it's fragrant. Yeah, I think the Tantel, they're different. They're different. Here you can see they've tried the companion planting, and they've got the roses here as well. In the Uterson, the Rose and Tantel, they just had the rose beds, but they were pretty much immaculate. The roses were kept immaculately. I'd love to know, and I'm going to email them to find out if they spray their roses. But let's next thing, I'm hoping the shop's going to be open soon, so I can go into the retail section. Right, see you in a bit. Okay, this lady, she's just works here. She's just picked out my favourite rose of the day, and it is Rose Courage. But the lady's here, just to my side, and I have to ask her, you work here? You work here?
Yeah.
What is your favourite rose here?
My favourite rose? Garden Princess Mother Jose.
That is, it's Parfuma collection, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, we'll go and fit. I'll go. In fact, show me now, and we'll end on that one. I think it might be called Raspberry Parfumer. But the lady who works here, this is her favourite rose, and this is where we're going to end the video. It's Fruity Parfumer. Fruity Parfumer. Lovely, thanks very much. I'll grab that one, I'll come and see you in a sec. Right, lovely viewer, wish me well, because this is not going to be an easy journey home. But the lady who works here, this is her favourite rose. It's a lovely fruity fragrance, and it is Fruity Parfumer. Right, lovely viewer, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a lovely day.